So if you're wondering whose side you should be on, if you don't know, or if you're curious about what I think about all this, Steven Crowder versus Ben Shapiro and the Dailywire, let me tell you what's been happening on my thoughts about it. We gotta start off with the first video that Steven put out. That's right, Louder with Crowder, the Mug Club guy, Steven Crowder, the guy from Arthur, that cartoon on PBS. What a good Arfark cartoon, and he was on Fox over the years, and then he went on to do his own thing. He's a really big, probably the biggest conservative, and he put out some videos this week, and in the first video he did not say what he was talking about, who he was talking about, and then the next day Dailywire was like, it was us, but let me say really quickly, in the first video, one of the biggest things Steven Crowder said was he's trying to change the landscape of how we do things. And that's very important. I believe in it. You can laugh all you want about it, but I believe in changing the landscape, and it's very critical to understand. And you really do gotta look at both sides of the situation. But then there's a third thing too, a third side that not a lot of people are talking about, at least not all the time, that people leave out, because a lot of times people are like, well, this is just a feud. It's just a fight between two entities, the Crowders and the Dailywires. People talk about that, but there's more to it, and I really want to talk about that, because it's like, you could say they're both right and they're both wrong, and there's a little bit more to it than that. And first off, I really gotta tell you a quick story to help you understand these things. Look at this. Back in July 2022, Ben Shapiro's Dailywire took down my video, which is not really a big deal because I'm just ordinary oatmeal Joey Ona guy making this video right now in 2023, January 20, this Friday. I'm just an ordinary guy. This Friday night, I'm making this video about this whole week. People have been talking about this whole entire week from Monday, this whole Crowder thing, and I just have to say, I got some history. I got some beef with the Dailywire. And I want to like them, and I think it's good that they're trying to make an alternative for people, against Hollywood. It's like, it's really good, but a quick story on my side, and it doesn't really matter in some ways because I'm a small little fry, but there's a reason why I'm bringing up this story, this really, really small story, and I'm not saying that I'm the greatest guy in the world, even though I might say it sometimes, but it doesn't matter. You don't have to watch my videos or anything else that I do, that I've been doing for the last 30 years. All this stuff, and I think it's good, and I'm trying to get better and stuff. But it doesn't matter if you don't like me. It doesn't matter. You just walk away and don't watch my videos. My videos are not very good. My articles, my memes, everything that I've been doing a lot of things in the oatmeal universe, and I talk about it, and I can make really long videos and articles. I'll make like 10-hour long videos and everything. It's like, I do a lot of things, and I try to explain what I do and everything. It's like so crazy and nuanced, and sometimes people look at me from the outside, not knowing, thinking I'm a crazy person, and maybe I am, but that's besides the point. One of the things that I believe in is private property rights and stuff, and I kind of feel like Ben stole my thing. Let me tell you a little thing, a little more to this story. So really quickly, because I can talk about this for hours and hours and hours, and I have been doing that, and I've wrote articles about this particular story. If you go look it up, you can go like, what happened? I'm not gonna tell you the details. That's right. Even though I want to really tell you why it's relevant to your life, even though you may think, no, it doesn't matter because you're a really crazy person, oatmeal. I would say to you, oh, what? But it's so relevant. It's so good. You need to understand. Alright, so let's think about this. Back in July 2022, Ben Shapiro's Dailywire took down my video. And then only 3 months later after that, YouTube finished removing my 10,000 plus videos. Which is not a really big deal in some ways, but YouTube's always like, we gotta save the children, hug the trees, save the whales. We really gotta, like, it's like a Michael Jackson song, we gotta save the children, the kids. We can't exploit them, we can't do trafficking, which is like some of the people do out there, Hollywood and governments. which I'm totally against, but it's like they're supporting some people. I don't know who, but I mean, I kind of know who, but I'm not here to talk about that right now. But it's like they make it a big deal, and they say it every time you go upload a video. They're like, are there any children in it? What if it's me from a long time ago or something, and I got some home videos? It's like all these videos, like over 10,000 videos, and some of those videos go back to 96 when I was turning 11 in Oregon. That's right. We got some home videos like the Power Ranger parody movie and a lot of other things over the years, these past 30 years, so many different videos. I'm not saying these videos are great that I was making with family and friends and all these other people over the years, all these different places in America and Vietnam and other places, like so many places, so many things, so many people, so many videos. And I don't have backups. I don't have copies of these videos. And YouTube, stop ignoring me and everything. They won't respond. And let me tell you something else about this situation. YouTube was like, after 2022, you cannot make YouTube channels and videos, and yet I'm still doing it. It's like they're not enforcing what they were saying to me in the emails and everything that they were giving me, and then they stopped responding to my emails, and they won't talk to me on Twitter. I've been filling out the forms and trying to give them appeals to what they did because they didn't give me a third strike, and I'll make a big deal about it because it's a big deal because it affects thousands, if not millions of people in a lot of ways. The censorship and the banning of people on social media, big tech. And I know some people may think I'm crazy, and sometimes it's deliberate. Sometimes I do this kind of thing on purpose. Sometimes it's accidental. It's a little bit of both, depending on the day, depending on the video and everything. Sometimes I go back and forth. Sometimes it's really hard to say. Sometimes a lot of it is out of context. But I'm not here to talk about myself and how a lot of people may not understand, and maybe I'll get better at trying to explain why I look so crazy, or maybe I don't. Maybe I look okay, depending on who you are and what you like. And if you don't like it, please don't watch my video. I don't want to sound like Frosk. But it's like, it's pretty terrifying. I mean, I think it's pretty terrifying. And I just wanted to bring this up again because it's like they delete all my videos, even though it's like I already have some channels already, and I don't have access to a lot of my 40 plus channels. I can only get into maybe a few, maybe less than 10 or 5 of them I can get into on YouTube. And it's like I had a lot of these channels that I made many years ago, and I kept them, but they're locking them out, and so I cannot get into them. And some of them like were disabled, some of them were terminated forever, never. I think it's pretty devastating, and I'm bringing this all up to talk about this whole situation about between Crowder and the Dailywire. Let me say really quickly that Steven Crowder may be a little bit wrong in how he's going about it, and some people don't like it, that he released some of those phone calls. However, I would say sometimes you just gotta really do some things. It could be debatable and everything about whether or not it was moral and ethical and everything. So a lot of people are talking about that and pointing that out. Even if they agree with the Crowder, they will say, but he went too far, and even Quarter Black Garrett missing that, and other people too. And like I was watching Friday Night Tides, and they were talking about it, and I feel like they were missing the point. At least some of them were. Some of the time, maybe not entirely, but it's. I feel a little bit disappointed. But I mean, they made some good points too. I don't want to diss on them entirely, but I just want to say that I feel like sometimes some people are missing the point, and there's a lot to be said, and a lot of people are making some really good videos, and I do appreciate the people who are talking about it. Sometimes people are like, don't talk about it because it's just internal drama and everything. I just want to make a quick point that I don't necessarily disagree entirely that Crowder may be wrong, and I could say that definitely about myself and other people. You can always look back, 20/20 vision. They say that hindsight is 20/20 vision. I got that from Alex Jones. He said that, and I totally agree. And it's like you can always look back and say that, but like when you're in the heat of the moment, you may blow up. You may you may be a little bit too strong when you're talking, when you're doing things. I'm not trying to make excuses or justifications or anything else, but it's important to understand that when you're like in the heat of the moment, it may not come out the right way when you're trying to do something, when you're trying to say something. It's very difficult. So it's easy to criticize Crowder, and people do that. People are doing that. Like I said, I can look at myself and I can be like, I'm a little bit wrong in how I dealt with things, and like in life you really got to pick your battles, and perhaps Crowder knows what he's doing, because it's like he's not doing this all the time. Like he didn't do this with the Blaze, and in the first video he didn't say that it was the Dailywire. They're the ones that brought it up, and then now like people like Ben Shapiro is insulting Ben. I mean, not Ben. Steven. I gotta get my people right. It's not that hard to remember, but it's like, internet drama is pretty crazy, but it's like, I'm not happy with Ben. Because he was like, you better go get that thing and stick it in your arm. I wrote a song about that back in 2019. I can't really talk about that on YouTube, which brings me up to my next point. I gotta talk about this very quickly. But it's like, a year before the whole thing happened, back in 2019, I upload that video to YouTube and I'm singing the song. If you don't want to stay alive, stick it in your arm. Stick it in your arm. Stick it in your arm. You really got to understand something. Like, Ben should not have been telling people to go stick it in his arm. Stick it in your arm. People were sticking it in their arm. And then, later on, recently, Ben's like, oh, I didn't know. Don't do it. It's too late now, Ben. It's too late now. And then, so it's like, Ben was telling people that, and Ben was against Trump, and I don't like that. It's like, why? I'm not happy about that. And then you try to take down my video, and you help YouTube take down a lot of my videos. I'd be pretty pissed off too, like Crowder. I'm not saying that Crowder's 100% right, but you really got to look at the heart of the matter and the intention. And I'm not saying that you can use that as a justification to get away with like murder and a lot of different things. Like if you're like in a court of law or something, it's like people use that. That was happening back in 2016 when they were talking about Hillary Clinton. That's right, they were talking about Hillary Clinton and those 30,000 emails. And the FBI director was like, was their intention? So it's like the left can use that as justification for crimes. They could be like, well, yeah, was their intention to do wrong? And I'm not saying like that gives you justification, but I am saying you look at that and you try to understand where a person is coming from and what is going on, what's happening. What is Crowder trying to do? What are you trying to do? We got to think about that. And I'm happy that some people are talking about that and some people are on Crowder's side. I'm on Crowder's side. It's very important to understand, so I appreciate people who are talking about it. Lauren Chen made some good points talking about it, and he was she was working with Steven, and she worked with the Blaze, and she talked about, just like doing business and everything, and she made some really good points from her perspective, and it's like looking at both sides and how the Dailywire was giving him a bad deal, and I totally agree. I absolutely agree, and I think those were good points. I think some other people were making those points too. I do have an idea, a solution to all of this. It might be too late, but I'm gonna tell you. But before I do, I probably should tell you This was a Crowder ultimatum. That's right, a Crowder ultimatum. I probably should have opened this video up with this. I'm about 15 minutes too late. God damn it. But I think it's very important to understand that Crowder came out with this ultimatum to the Dailywire. And he said, you gotta promise me. You gotta do this. One thing. You gotta promise not to penalize new people. Don't penalize them. Don't put that in the contracts. It's fine. A lot of people negotiate the contracts. Like, a lot of people are talking about that on the internet. There's like, oh, it's normal. You gotta just pay millions of dollars or thousands of dollars for all your freaking lawyers to make a freaking deal. And it's very normal. It's very, very mundane when you're doing a business deal and you're going back and forth negotiating a contract. If you got a lot of money, sure. But what if you don't? Or what if you don't know? And that was the point that Crowder was trying to make. And he was giving the Dailywire two options. There's actually a third option, but basically he was giving them only two options. Either take the deal or don't. But if you don't, I'm going to go public. So he warned them. And not a lot of people are talking about that. People are like, oh, I think Crowder's unethical to release the phone call. But he warned them. Didn't you realize that? He warned everybody. He's like, I'm going public. You do this. You take my offer. Dailywire, you better go take my offer. Okay? You go take my offer. Or I'm going public. Because I think you screwing creators that you're trying to bring on. Because they may not be as savvy as me. God damn it. I may not, like, it doesn't really matter if it happens to me. That's what Crowder's saying. Like, but to the other people, it's going to devastate them. And I totally agree with Crowder. I agree with Crowder. It's like, what about the little people? What about the new people, up and coming people who don't know what's going on? You're going to screw them over with these terrible contracts? Stop saying, oh, you just gotta negotiate the contracts. People can't always negotiate the contracts. Sometimes these contracts are bad. Especially if you're censored on YouTube, if you're banned off YouTube like I have. And that's why I brought up all that stuff where like YouTube come in and they delete my 10,000 plus videos. A lot of videos. I'm not saying those videos are great. It doesn't matter. It's not the point. The point is, if they can do that to me, they can do that to you. They can do that to anybody. And they've been doing that to a lot of people for so many years. I started noticing it back in 2010. That was 13 years ago. 13 years ago. And some people have noticed it back in 2008 or longer, like Alex Jones. And he was talking about that, about how effed up YouTube is. And the Dailywire is going to be like, we're going to depend on YouTube and the other social media websites. And if they're going to if they're going to punish you, if they're going to give you a strike, a copyright strike, community guideline strike on YouTube, then you're going to get less money from us because we're going to get less advertisements. But let me tell you something. That's not how they should do it. Alright? Let me tell you something. Now, first off, the Dailywire, they could have made a deal like they had three options, not only two. They could have taken Crowder's deal and then everything would be all right, or not. Those are two options. The third option would have been coming back with a rebuttal, some kind of counter. They didn't even do that. They didn't really do that. They just said no. And then they expected Crowder to stay quiet about it. Crowder gave the Dailywire two options, and Dailywire said no. And Crowder warned them and said, I'm going public. What does that mean? What did you think that meant? Potentially that means he's going to release the phone call. And he said that in the first video that he published back on Tuesday. I think it was Monday or Tuesday. He said he would do it. And the Dailywire, they just come out of nowhere. The next day they're like, yeah, it was us. You didn't have to say anything, because Crowder was like, I don't want to say who it was. And Crowder's like, Dailywire was like, it was us. I mean, give me a break. Give me a break. But let me tell you, there's a solution. Really quickly, the video they took down, Ben Shapiro's Dailywire, they took down the video I did on Gina Carano's Terror on the Prairie movie back in July 2022. I did a little reaction video, but it didn't violate copyright, and that's why YouTube restored the video. But then they deleted all my videos. Over 10,000 videos. This 3 months later. And I was just there saying some good things about the movie that Dailywire made, starring Gina Carano, Terror on the Prairie. It was a good movie. I do a review. It was a good spoiler review, and I said it was. And then Dailywire found the video and took it down. They were like, YouTube, this sucks. Take it down, even though nobody saw it. But it was a good video, even though maybe it wasn't a good video. But that's not the point. It's not the point. It's not a point. It doesn't matter if I'm good or bad. If I'm a terrible person, don't watch my videos. Don't tell people to watch my videos unless if you want to watch it because it sucks so badly. Whatever you think about me, you like me, you don't like me, that's not the point. I'm not here to try to promote myself, even though I actually do try to promote myself. I try to organize all the stuff that I have online, because I made a bigger mess of myself accidentally and sometimes purposely. But we're not here to talk about that for another 10,000 hours or 10 hours. I can seriously get into giant rabbit trails. I can go deep. Let's go deep into all these things that I really want to talk about. That's why I'm trying to talk as quickly as possible. Like right now, I'm moving my mouth like boom, 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 boom. I'm like Pac-Man, gobble, gobble, gobble. I'm like, because I really want you to understand that it's like terrifying. Like, really want you to tell. I really want to tell you a lot of things, and then sometimes I talk a little slower, but I really want you to know something. A lot of things, really. But moving on. Probably the last thing I want to say for now, one of the biggest things out of all the things I can say, and seriously, this video can go on for 10 freaking hours. I'm not kidding, I'm not joking. Because there's so many different things, and all the things matter, and they're all interconnected. And there's so much nuance. But I'm going to tell you one more thing for right now. I'm going to tell you one more thing. Dailywire contacts. I'm serious, but I'm saying it in a joking way. I'm just kidding about, this is the last thing that I wanted to say. Actually, I wanted to say something else, but seriously, this is something I needed to add. I wanted to add one more thing before I said the last thing. Even though there's a lot of other things I want to say, and I just want to circle back. Let me just circle back mountain, yeah. But this is a really, really powerful point too. This rat is very important. It sucks balls. It's right, and people gotta realize that. People can't be like, well, it hurt my feelings how Steven Crowder dealt with the situation and releasing the private phone calls. Let me tell you something. Are phone calls private? No, they're not. But you live in a delusional world where you think they are, and then you don't even care that the NSA are spying on our phone calls. Edward Snowden talks about that. A lot of big people talk about government agencies in America and other countries talking about that. Alex Jones talks about that. So many people talk about that. God damn it. So many people talk about this. They talk about this. They talk about the FBI, CIA, NSA, MI6, this agency, that agency, all these other agencies and groups, and God knows what. Bilderberg, Davos, I don't know. It's think about it. The list goes on and on and on, and they're spying, wiretapping, and some people are like, I don't care. I got nothing to hide. But then, oh my God, Steven Crowder, he releases a private phone call. But I don't care if the FBI is listening to me through my TV. Oh, it's all right. Hello, hi, FBI. You wanna watch me? Hello, Facebook and YouTube and everybody else. You wanna look at me? I don't care. I got nothing to hide. Privacy, the Fourth Amendment. I don't care. Naomi, I don't care. I don't care. A lot of people, too many people have said stuff like that. Crap like that. They're like, I got nothing to hide. I'm missing the point. And I'm not here to talk about why that matters. Like, the problem, like, privacy is important. And it's important to, like, have free speech, the First Amendment, you know, in the Constitution in America. The First Amendment is very important. Very important. It's very important. You know what I'm saying? It's very important. And the Fourth Amendment, the First Amendment, Fourth Amendment, they're very important. Privacy on one hand, freedom, you know, and doing stuff in the public, or just like having the ability to say what you want without having the government come in and say you can't say it kind of thing. I mean, that's what the First Amendment's all about, you kind of thing. Like, don't come in and interfere with what you say and religion and all this, you know, all this stuff. Like, the ability to peacefully protest. And I'm not going to say, you know, that one day in January, because that's one of the things that got me banned. Seriously, just talking about it, even if you don't say anything bad, and you seriously, if you say, like, you gotta be non-violent, the stupid AI and the fact checkers, you know, from other countries, they're like, they take you down. They're like, they attack me a lot. A lot of my videos, they would come back because I would appeal when there was a copyright strike, a community guideline strike. You've been there, if you know what I mean. Then you know what I mean. Some people don't know because some people don't have to deal with getting crazy community guideline strikes, which, you know, brings me back to the contract that Dailywire bring on. They bring on, like, they're like, you gotta be good. You gotta be good. You gotta obey the rules on YouTube and everywhere else. Don't get me started on all the other websites. TikTok, Facebook, Twitter. Maybe not Twitter now. Twitter's a little better now with Elon Musk. A little bit better, and that's good. Step in the right direction. So don't get me started on all these different websites, but especially YouTube, who will delete my 10,000 videos. And it doesn't matter that they do it. Like, you could say, well, it doesn't matter. But it's the principle. The fact that they do it, and they stole it, and they don't care, and they won't talk to me, and I can't contact a single staff member because they don't care, and they just, like, even if a staff member were to look at my situation, they would look at the computer screen and be like, well, according to the YouTube database, it says you suck. So you can't be on YouTube, even though I'm still uploading videos to YouTube to my other channels. And they're not suspending and terminating them because I don't know. Because they said you can't do it anymore. But they're not suspending the channels, and I told them that, and they don't care. Even though they said they do, they don't. If I had a contract with Dailywire, they would penalize me. And that's what Steven Crowder was saying. He was saying, it is not about me. It is not about Steven Crowder. And he said that in the first video that he released this week, the beginning of this week, in January 2023, this week. Alright? He said that. A lot of people are missing the point. They're like, oh, Steven, it's just talking about Steven. It's all about him and the money. It's not about the money, Candace. Candace Owen. He's not being a victim. God damn it. Don't you realize that? And when we talk about this, it's not just like drama between two people. There are too many people saying it's just stupid drama between two parties. And that's it. And there's nothing more to it. A lot of people on the internet saying that is wrong. They're wrong. You guys are wrong. God damn it. This is not drama. It's not drama between only two parties. Crowder and Dailywire. It's not just Crowder versus Dailywire. It's not. It's more than that because it affects a lot of different people. And that's the point that Crowder was trying to bring up in the first video. And a lot of people are missing that. And it drives me crazy because it's like people missing the point. And I've been in that situation where I try to let people know I've uploaded videos where I'm like, I'm a little bit crazy. And I may have been wrong. When I'm like screaming, yelling in Vietnam at the Leap Pagoda and ripping cafe. And while I'm talking about, got to steal my bag. And a bunch of different things throughout my life. All this stuff online, if you ever look up Oatmeal, that's my name, Oatmeal Joey Arnold, Oatmeal, me, I'm Oatmeal. Look at me, look at me, look. But it doesn't matter, it's not about me either. Even though I'm uploading this video, and this video is like bad quality, and it's not focused. I need to fix this camera thing. It's not focused, you know? It's not focused. And people in general in life, sometimes they're not focused on what really matters and how it's applicable. That's right, it's relevant to them and to a lot of things. It's not just a private matter between Crowder and Dailywire. A lot of people say, oh, look at this, look at this, look at this. It's just a private matter between two parties, but it's not. It's not, goddammit. And it's like you're missing the bigger picture. You're missing the bigger picture. Even Alex Jones talked about this a little bit. Earlier today, he was talking about it a little bit. You should go to InfoWorld, go to Panda Video. Please don't delete this video. Please do not. YouTube Susie, please do not delete this video because I said Alex and other stuff too, like that song, the song I wrote and sang back in 2019. If you don't want to stay alive, stick it in your arm. It's almost like that guy with the arm and the glasses, the Newman guy, and he was like trying to strangle me to death. I talked about that yesterday. What a great story. Terrible story. Roy Merrick doesn't like it. But seriously, I mean, it's like, let me tell you something. I said I only got one more thing to say. But I really wanted to make a few more points. And I'm not gonna try to mention every single person who's talking about this. Even though I really want to talk about that too. Like, I think a lot of people are making some really good points, and I recommend that you go check out their videos or whatever else, articles, if there are any articles, but it's mostly just videos, people talking about this stuff. Like Eric July of the Rip-Off-First, he made some really good videos about this, some really good points about business and life, and sometimes you got to go through a temporary apprenticeship, and it's all right. And you come out the other side, come out the other side stronger after a few years, and then you do your own thing, trying to be independent and everything. But it's pretty crazy. This week's pretty crazy, but we got a peek in to how things really work. It's like the Wizard of Oz, and we're looking in. You really want to go find out how things really work and everything. Behind the curtain, to see the Wizard of Oz, the little boy, the little man behind the curtain. What's he doing? Look at those little men. People like Bill Gates and Soros and the leader of the World Economic Forum and all these other stuff, all these other people and things. And it's very good that we do that. And it's important that we don't fight among ourselves. Kind of like, like Crowder versus Dailywire kind of thing. But sometimes it's critical to... There's one more thing I have to say before the last thing. Dailywire are gatekeepers, that's right. Some people kind of just throw that out there and they accuse everybody or whoever they don't like of being gatekeepers. But Dailywire have been gatekeepers. Maybe not all the time, maybe not everybody there, but people like, especially Ben Shapiro. You know, Alex Jones, Mr. Vulnerable. He don't like Ben. But it's not personal, it's because Ben is messed up. Because, better not take down this video, but seriously. Recommending that people stick it in their arm, I mean, that's probably the worst thing you can ever say. And don't just be like, oh, I didn't know any better. Give me a break. Now, people are, they're Minecrafting, as they say. You know, in a video game, and it's like you're playing the game, and then you have to start over because you died. You're Minecrafting. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that. I'll find out if this video gets removed off YouTube. I'll find out if this channel gets suspended. I've had a lot of channels suspended. What do? Make a new channel? It's devastating to me, but I really wanted to say stuff. And I'm not even a big person. I don't have millions of followers. So why is YouTube taking down my videos and suspending my channels when not a lot of people see me? But they do. And they've been doing that for years and years and years, goddamn it. Imagine if I had a bad contract with the Dailywire, who are the gatekeepers, really are. I'm not saying that. I'm not just saying that just to be crazy and shocking. It's because they are, and I believe they are. Not 100% of the time. It's just they're doing it. It's kind of like Fox News. A lot of that is gatekeeping. Not to say that there aren't some good people on Fox News sometimes, especially Tucker Carlson. Tucker is good. But a lot of people, they're not really talking about the things that we need to be talking about. And that's the thing about what is gatekeeping. A lot of times what it is like you talk about some things, you talk about some issues, but you don't really talk about what is most important. Especially when you know what people need to know about history and current events and what people need to know, but you don't do it regardless of why you do it, why you don't do it. Like, it's like that's besides the point. You don't do it, and that's called gatekeeping. That you're keeping relevant information away from your audience and from the general public. And it's critical that you try to be on the cutting edge and try to give people tomorrow's news today. You should. But it's like people don't sometimes, and especially people like Dailywire and Fox News, and they don't get kicked off YouTube. People like Steven Crowder and Alex Jones, a lot of other people, they get kicked off of social media. And you got the balls to say, oh, just follow their rules. You think we would if we could? We would, like we try to. But they keep on changing the rules, goddammit. You have no idea. You think, oh wow, you're so bad. You break the rules on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and everywhere else. TikTok, Instagram, etc., etc. All these big prison planet social media websites, goddammit. It's like, we're not really trying to make trouble. We're not really trying to be too controversial. We're just not gatekeepers like y'all. A lot of gatekeepers out there. I don't know how many, but a lot of times you do it unintentionally because you listen to a gatekeeper. People accuse the other side or other people of being gatekeepers. But a gatekeeper will not let anybody on to debate you. So how do you know if somebody's a gatekeeper? Well, you try to find out whether or not they'll let anybody come on. Anybody, everybody, from different sides politically or even on the same side. Has Alex Jones ever been on the Dailywire? Has he ever talked to Ben Shapiro? No, because Ben won't let him. That's terrible. At least Candace Owens will talk to Alex, and Candace said some good things about Kanye West. Like, we shouldn't, like, beat him up when he's down on the ground, like everybody's dogpiling on him. And he's my friend. I'm not gonna beat up Kanye West, Mr. Ye. I agree with Candace. What's his son about that? I think it's good. I'm not happy with the gatekeepers out there. Some of them are like, well, I don't want to get banned off YouTube. Give me a break. Grow up, like me. I wasn't trying to get banned. I tried really hard, but then they go in and they find videos from many, many years ago, like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and they flagged them out of nowhere. And they're like, we're going to give you another strike. And then out of nowhere, my channel was suspended even though it didn't have a third strike. And they're like, well, we looked at your channel and we found out that you are always breaking the rules all the time. And I'm like, what videos? And they won't tell me. And it's very crazy. I'm not happy, and I think we gotta change the landscape, like Steven Crowder said, which brings me to my final point. This is my final point, alright? There's a solution to the bad contracts that you might find from the Dailywire and other people. There's a solution that Dailywire could do, they should have done, instead of like penalizing you if YouTube don't like you. Oh, Dailywire take money from you. That's terrible. You don't have to do that. But who was the guy, Jeremy, of the Dailywire? He's like, oh, that's normal. No, it's not. You know, other companies, they don't do that. I don't think Fox News do that. At least some of them don't do it. But Dailywire, they're like, everybody do that. Everybody do that. Everybody do that. What a big lie. F you. Fuck you. They're bad. Yeah, God damn it. It's like, give me a break. It's like, wake up and smell a coffee, Dailywire. Dailywire. Why lie? Why lie? That just pisses me off. You know, it's just like, I do have beef with Dailywire and YouTube, who take down over 10,000 videos of mine. They don't have to do that with their bad contracts. Here's what they can do. Here is the solution for Dailywire for their bad contracts. Turn the bad contracts into good contracts. Write down in the contract. Pay per subscription. That's right. You don't have to depend on what YouTube thinks about your people. Like if you were to sign Steven Crowder to a 4-year deal, you pay him off the money you get from your website. And hopefully your website's not taken down off the internet, which that's possible because that happened to Gab.com and Parler, some of these social media competitors to Twitter. There were some video social media websites that came up, social media competitors to Twitter, like Gab and Parler, and they were taken down. Their websites were taken down off their web hosts, like Amazon, Google. What are the biggest web hosters? Amazon, Google, GoDaddy. There's probably a few others, and sometimes some of them could be like, we're gonna take the website down because they're racist. They're racist. But for the most part, you might not be taken down. Maybe you gotta try your best, and at least it's a little bit better than just like depending on YouTube. So you go on social media and you tell people to go to Mug Club. I mean, that's what Steven Crowder was all about doing. Go to Mug Club and you can see more. I mean, Tim Pool does that too. On the Timcast, he's like, you want to see the unfiltered version? Go to timcast.com. Alex Jones does that too. Infowars.com, band.video. Please don't delete this video because I said those people and those websites. But believe it or not, they can take down this video because I said those things. They take things out of context. They're crazy. And that's why it's crazy to depend on them in a contract. Instead, all you got to do is say, hey, Steven Crowder, if you get somebody to sign up on our website, you get some money. You get 2 people, you get more money. You get 3 people over, you get more money. Instead, be like, but if YouTube bans you, then we're going to take some money from you. And if Facebook bans you, or they attack you, they give you a strike, they demonetize you, then we're going to take money from you. We're going to give you less money. No, you don't have to do that. Because it shouldn't be based on how you're doing your performance on big tech, on YouTube, and everywhere else. That's not important. Don't be like, oh, we're in bed with YouTube. And that's why Steven Crowder was talking about that, because whether you are or not, that's what it looks like. That's why he said that in the first video. It's like the big con. You in bed. You in bed with a leprechaun. You're in bed with a monster. And you shouldn't be doing that. Why are you doing that? I'm angry. I've had enough of these people. They're a bunch of murdering scum. They run giant death factories, keeping babies alive and selling their baby parts. What's wrong with you people? I go around recording these people every day. They have green looking skin. They run around singing, I love Satan, I want to eat your babies. What a great song. That's an Alex Jones song, if you don't know. And there's a lot of truth behind it, but it's like, man, this is crazy. And to the people who are talking about this, I hope you understand what is really going on. For me, I'm going to be Team Crowder. I'm going to be Team Free Speech and everything else. Like, I want transparency. I want better contracts for content creators, because I don't like when people get screwed. It's not about me either. It's not about Steven Crowder. It's not about me. I may be ugly. I may be really bad at talking sometimes. A lot of things. When I'm talking, when I'm writing articles, when I'm making memes, and everything else that I do, I may be really bad or a little bit bad. But that's besides the point. That's besides the point. Don't get distracted by looking at me and looking at how messed up I might be. If you think I am, I don't think I am, but if you think I am, don't let that ruin your day. If you think I'm stupid, funny, crazy, whatever it is, that's besides the point, and I don't care. Even though I do, but I don't. You know what I'm saying? But what do I know? I'm just the most banned oatmeal in the world. It's bad. Oatmeal. I'm oatmeal. Joey Arnold. Making the world greener. One oatmeal at a time. Ow. I was about to end this video, but then I got a pop-up. I don't know what's happening on my computer. Uh-oh. Ow, ow.